Okay guys, so this morning we are going to be making some oats. They're going to be baked oats. Yay! I'm going to put some chocolate protein powder in it. Again, I don't use protein powder that often because it bothers my stomach, but there are a couple brands that I'm good with. And this one doesn't seem to do me in. Anyway, I'm going to throw a scoop of that in. Chocolate protein powder was on sale, so we happen to have a lot of it, even though we're more vanilla people. So I'm going to try to do a few recipes with it because then I can actually get it in. Okay, so I am putting in this plain almond milk from Costco, unsweetened. I'm putting in a couple bananas. They should be more spotty than this, but this is all I have, and we have so many of them, but they're kind of green. And then I'm going to put some maple syrup to sweeten it, and I'm going to put some chia seeds, and of course the oatmeal, which is going to be the star of the show. And then again, I'm going to make it a chocolatey version because I'm going to throw in some of that protein powder. So I'm going to put 2 1/3 of a cup of the oats. These are organic oats, again from Costco, that we buy in bulk. And then I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of chia seeds. And then as far as the milk goes, I'm going to put a couple cups, and if I feel like I need more, then I'll put more, but 2 cups usually is sufficient. And then I'm going to put 1 scoop of the chocolate powder, the protein powder. The 2 bananas are going to be mashed, and then I'm going to put some of the maple syrup. I'm going to put 1/4 cup in. I'm actually kind of debating because I'm like, do I just drizzle it on top later? Or do I put it in right now? But either way, it would be 1/4 cup, either baked in, or drizzled on top afterward when it comes out of the oven. Sorry, I'm losing my voice, guys. I'm not sure what's going on here. But yeah, and I use the pure maple syrup, again, from Costco. Just try to find the good stuff and not the sugar-loaded business. You want to get something of good quality because really you don't need that much of it. And I'm going to be using the bananas to sweeten things. If these were spotty, they'd be even more sweet, but that's all I have. Okay, so I have the 2 1/3 of a cup of oats, 1 scoop of protein powder, 1 tablespoon of the chia seeds. Now I'm going to mash these 2 bananas because those guys are going to go in too. And I put the peels, sorry, next door neighbor's dog is barking. My dog doesn't bark at all unless it's actually like something important, like a stranger. This dog barks at like everything. Lord. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to mash that and throw it in. So I put the peels of the banana in my rose bush, so just on the bottom of my rose bush, because apparently it helps them bloom a lot more. There'll be a lot more roses, so I'm going to try it out this year, and I'm all about the reusing items and composting and figuring out things that we can put in the garden that's going to help. So yeah, I'm going to try the banana peels because apparently it works and they just break down and your rose bushes love it. So yeah, this is all mashed up. Then it's going to go in here, and I'm going to put the 1/4 cup of the maple syrup, maybe a little bit less because I want to put a little bit on top afterward. But you decide what you want to do. And yeah, it'll be super tasty and yummy. And I'm preheating the oven to 375 just because now this oven here at this house is not as strong. So I think I need to crank it up a little from 350 to 375 just to cook it a little bit better. And we're going to see how it goes. Just giving it a little mix. Then I'm going to throw in those bananas. Give it another mix. Okay, so everything is mixed in. Just distributing that banana a little bit more evenly. And I did drizzle that maple syrup in. I think I'm going to put a little bit of my sun butter on top of my slice instead of putting maple syrup on top. So I decided to put the maple syrup in the baked goods. And then I'm going to top it, instead of with maple syrup, with a little bit of my sun butter as a treat. If you're watching your fat intake very closely though, then leave that out. I am finding that I need to be exposed to a few nuts here and there, at least twice a month. I have something, an almond butter or cashew butter, or a little bit of the sun butter. That way at least I'm having something, and I'm not staying away from nuts completely. And there are health benefits, of course. It's just you want to keep nuts and seeds to a minimum, because they will, you know, add a lot of fat to your overall day, if you were tracking that. Okay, this actually already looks really, really good. And then we're going to pop it into the oven. So I would say about 20 minutes for me. If you like it more gooey, 15 minutes. Okay, this is how it turned out, nice and chocolatey. If you like a lot of chocolate, you can go ahead and add a little bit more of the protein powder. Totally up to you, but I think for me, this is going to be perfect. I think it cooked perfectly, like I said, at 375, because 350, I tend to have to put it in a lot longer. My oven is not that strong, but you be the judge of your oven. And now it's just cooling off. It's going to set slightly, so it'll be easier to cut. And yeah, the house smells amazing. Oh my goodness. Even the dog, even King, is coming to the kitchen going, Mom, what are you making? It smells so, so good. So as far as toppings go, you can eat it as is. This is really great for on the go as well. You can throw it in a container and it's going to last, and it's going to taste really good at room temperature. You can add fresh fruit on top of your serving if you need to get some more fruit in. This is a perfect way, even though don't forget there's 2 bananas in here. You can also add, you know, a few nuts and seeds on top for garnish if you are lacking in some, you know, minerals or vitamins and you need to intake those. It would be a nice addition as well. You can drizzle maple syrup on top. You can put a nut butter on top. You can always put like a little bit of that on top for some extra flavor and, you know, get some nuts and seeds in you that way. If you are very strict about your fat intake, which I normally am, like I said, I just incorporate nut butters, you know, a couple times a month just to make sure that I'm still consuming some of it. I'm still getting those vitamins and nutrients. I'm still, you know, getting some nuts in me so that I don't know, I just have a fear of like, what if I'm allergic to everything? Because I'm allergic to peanuts and I don't want to. So I still have some here and there just to expose my body to a few nuts and seeds. And yeah, it's just nice. You know, I like having seeds in salads and things like that. A great way of incorporating it. But as far as things like this for breakfast, I'm just going to have this plain most of the time because you guys know me, I'm very plain Jane. I don't like fuss and I like things simple. But I might put a little bit today of my little nut butter alternative on top, but normally I'm just going to have it plain. And this was a really quick recipe to throw together. Okay, so here is the sun butter that I was talking about, and it's just roasted sunflower seeds. That's it. So this is the organic one, and I just get it from Amazon, and sunflower seeds is something that I can consume, so it is a great peanut alternative. And I'm just going to add a little tiny bit on top. So here it is. Here is my yummy breakfast. Super simple, delicious. I put some of that wow butter on top. Totally optional. If you don't want to add it in, it is going to increase the fat content. Then don't do it. Like I said, I just like it plain. Like that's how I eat it. Maybe a little bit of a drizzle of maple syrup on top when I eat it normally. But today I'm feeling a little bit of wow butter. In the oven, I just have, whoa, it's hot, some sweet potatoes going, and I just cut those up. I didn't want to waste those 2 sweet potatoes. They were kind of rough. So I decided to just cube them up. And they're just chilling with some maple syrup, and they are smelling amazing. So this is going to be wonderful. So this is what they look like. I love no waste meals. These 2 sweet potatoes started to sprout, so I had to peel them and use up these 2. And they're pretty big, bigger sized sweet potatoes. And this is what I got from them. And I just drizzled a little bit of maple syrup on it, and that is it. There's nothing else on it. Just some ooey gooey sweet potatoes and with a hint of maple. This is just super simple. You can whip up sweet potatoes like this, and it's so easy, and you kind of just put it in the oven and you forget about it. Yeah, they take a while. Like I cooked these for an hour at 400 degrees, but I only mixed it once and I went about my day doing my chores, and then they turn yummy and delicious. So I'm going to be making this tofu. I'm going to do it with some curry spices. It's going to be super yummy and delicious. I am going to make the whole thing just because I want it to have some substance and be very filling. So I'm going to put the whole thing in, plus the potatoes. And then that's going to go in a corn wrap with veggies. And yeah, should be delicious. I wouldn't normally put the whole block in. I think half is enough, but since I want leftovers and I want to make a substantial amount, I'm going to go ahead and use the whole block because it is a pretty big block. So I go ahead and throw in all my potatoes into the pan, and no fuss, you know, cooking. I just add a little bit of seasoning just to jazz it up. Some paprika, and I found this no salt seasoning at Walmart in Pennsylvania, so I picked that up, and that's pretty good too. And a little bit of garlic powder, and that is it. And that way my potatoes were nicely seasoned, and I did have extra potatoes to eat on the side for another meal, so that way there was something on them. And yeah, just, you know, cook them away until they are at the consistency that you like. And that is it. And then, you know, if you need to add some water or some broth to your pan, if things are starting to stick, then you can go ahead and do that. But otherwise, we don't cook with any oil at home or anything. So yeah, it just cooks up really nicely on the ceramic pan. So this is what it looks like after it's cooked up, and it was a whole bowl's worth, which was fantastic. And then I went ahead and added the amount of potatoes that I wanted into my pan with the tofu, and I just scrambled that tofu with some, you know, seasonings. I did like turmeric, I did onion powder, I did a little bit of curry, actually a lot of curry because I do like quite a bit of curry. And then, yeah, I don't add any nutritional yeast or anything most people do. I used to, but I don't now. And that is it, like super simple. I just water saute it until it's the consistency that I like. And I add either potatoes or rice to my tofu, and that is it. So I wanted a sauce to go with my meal, so I decided to just throw some stuff in a blender. I have sunflower seeds, I have garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of paprika, and that is it with some hot water, and I just blended it up, and it is a nice sauce that I can put in a container in the fridge for up to a week. So I have these little corn tortillas, but they're very delicate, so I do double them so that I can actually put a good amount of filling into them. So that is the tofu, and I have, of course, the potatoes in there, super delicious. And then I added that sauce, and then I needed some greens, so I had fresh spinach. So I added the spinach in there because you always have to get your yummy greens in. And that is it, super simple. If I had more veg, I would have thrown that into my scramble as well. I love bell peppers, you know, cut up into my scramble, but I didn't have any, so you just do what you can with what you got, right? So that is it for this week's video. I hope that these recipes helped you in some way and gave you a little bit of inspiration of some quick and easy meals that anybody can put together. And you can add a lot of extra fiber and a lot of extra nutrition in these very simple meals. So thanks for being here this week, guys. I will see you next week, and health, joy, and positive vibes to each and every one of you.